morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we have got a bunch of new secret rares that have been revealed from V-Star Universe, which are of course going to be in our Crown Zenith, and there are a bunch of them, and I am very, very excited. And I personally have got to start off with the ones that were shown on the, I think it was a Hong Kong and Taiwan stream yesterday, because they include this Hisuian Electrode, which is drawn by Haiganasuke. And look, by now, if you follow this channel, you'll know I am a huge fan of Haiganasuke. They and Okacheke are my favourite artists. I absolutely adore them. I have been waiting for art rares by Haiganasuke or Okacheke, and I've been very patient, I've been very good, I have been waiting very nicely. They're now finally here, and I am absolutely delighted. This is just absolutely brilliant. It's not Electrode, it's clearly Hisuian Voltorb. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that was very silly of me. The point is, oh, it's beautiful. There is only one, it's the one from Astral Radiance. It is the one that's for 0 energy. If you go second during your first turn, lets you choose up to 2 bench Pokemon and search the deck for a basic energy and attach to each of them. It's not a great card, but oh my word, the artwork is amazing. And yes, obviously, this just became my favourite of the artwork rares. That shouldn't really surprise anyone. And don't get me wrong, I am a Haiganasuke fanboy. I'm aware of this. But even if I wasn't, this is just absolutely beautiful and serene and lovely. But if you want something a little bit different, how about Deoxys? Now, this is, of course, and this one shouldn't really surprise anyone, it's got Single Strike, Rapid Strike, and Fusion Strike logos on. Ergo, it has to be the Deoxys that came around in Fusion Strike. It's the only one that makes any sense. So that's lovely and all of that. And it's a decent card. It's one people keep experimenting with, but one that's never really seen a huge amount of play. Does 160 damage if you've got a Fusion Strike energy attached. But what is extremely cool here is you will notice it's got a bunch of the item cards and tools that are Single Strike and Rapid Strike and Fusion Strike. I'm not going to name them all, we don't really have time in this video, but if you go and look up all the Single Strike, Rapid Strike, and Fusion Strike item cards and tools, you'll see at least a large amount of them represented. I will give you one. I will give you Echoing Horn. There's an Echoing Horn there. I'm going to let you figure all the other ones out yourself, but this is just extremely cool. And I love that they've done this. And I think this is a really, really cool way of doing it. And I love every time we have these cards giving callbacks to older cards. So yeah, this makes me very happy indeed. And the other artwork rare that was shown off on that same stream is this Magnezone. And again, I think this Magnezone is stunning. It's not an artist. Well, it's Komatsu, who has done some very cool cards in the past. They've got one of these styles that is very recognizable, I think is the way to put it. And it's just an absolutely beautiful card, and I absolutely love it. It is, of course, the Magnezone that came around in Astral Radiance, the one with Giga Magnet. Let's look at the top 6 cards of your deck, add any number of metal energy you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like. And it's one of those that people have been playing around with, because it just seems like it's got so much potential, because you can accelerate so many cards so quickly. But being a Stage 2, it's just never ended up being particularly good. But it's one of my favourite art rares that we've seen from the set. I think it's absolutely stunning. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think it's gorgeous, quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen. It is a very beautiful card, and I'm a fan. I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. I am a pretty gosh darn big fan of this. So yay! So those are the 3 that have been revealed, the art rares that have been revealed, but we've had a bunch of others as well, including just this morning, where we did see the reveal of both Zacian V and Zamazenta V. Now, here's what's really interesting, because obviously we had Zacian V coming in as part of VMAX Climax with a fancy different version. This is not that Zacian V. This is in fact the Zacian V, the psychic version that originally came around in Celebrations. Yeah, it's that one. The one that lets you search for an energy card and attach it to one of your Pokemon, but it ends your turn. It saw a bit of play briefly around about the EUIC, when Whimsicott was a thing. So, it's another Zacian, another very beautiful Zacian, but it's a different Zacian. It's not the one we've all been playing with. It's not the one that saw the most amount of play, the one that we, basically couldn't get rid of for a while. It's the different one. And it's kind of cool that we are getting it here. As for the artwork, it's not my favourite, but it's one of those stylized ones that some people are going to absolutely love. And we could pretty much say the same thing about Zamazenta. There was a Zamazenta in VMAX Climax that we did get in our trainer gallery. This is not that Zamazenta. This is the second Zamazenta V, or I suppose actually the third Zamazenta V. This is not the one from Celebrations. This is the one that came around in Brilliant Stars with that really nice ability to let you discard your hand and draw 5 cards at the cost of ending your turn. Also free energy 120, plus 30 more for each prize card your opponent has already taken. And this is really cool. This is really very, very cool. I actually really like this ability, and I do think it's going to see a bunch of play in the future. It's just got a huge amount of potential. But it's interesting here that we got those awesome Zacian and Zamazenta in VMAX Climax, and they're coming back here, and they kind of had to, right? This is the final Sword and Shield set. This is where we kind of finish off and celebrate the Sword and Shield era. It would be weird if we did that without Zacian and Zamazenta. And now we've gone for different Zacian and Zamazenta. And there are actually 3 Zamazenta V. One of them is just being left out. And I suppose that's a little bit sad, but, there's not really much we can do about it. So let's just carry on with our day. And as we carry on with our day, we need to look at some full art supporters. And I need to tell you that I was right. And look, this is another one of those predictions where it wasn't a particularly difficult prediction. And I don't really deserve a big pat on the back for getting it right, because it was pretty obvious. But still, I get lots of very mean messages when I'm wrong, so every so often I have to just celebrate that I was a little bit right. And that is, we are getting Friends in Sinnoh and Friends in Hisui as wonderful full art supporters. Because I showed you the other day that we were getting regular versions of these cards, and we'd already seen, and it was actually very recently that we got it in Silver Tempest, Friends in Gala, which is of course that card, but as a full art. And these are going to be one of those, in Japan, these are going to be very, very expensive cards. Over here, really depends on the pull rate, likely to be significantly cheaper. So my advice to all you lovely ladies and gentlemen is that unless you are absolutely desperate, I would go after the English versions of these cards. I can't guarantee, but it is overwhelmingly likely that the English versions are going to be significantly cheaper. But let's worry about that later. Let's just look at the stunning cards. If we take Friends in Sinnoh, we can see that we've got the same characters that we saw on the regular art. We got the 2 protagonists. We've got your rival Barry, we've got your champion Cynthia, and we've got Volkner. And yeah, it's the same characters, but look, I like the regular artwork, but goodness gracious me, this full art is just absolutely amazing. And look, binders generally come with 9 pockets per page. We've got 9 regions, including Hisui, not including Paldea because it's too early. I cannot be the only one that just wants one of each on a 9-pocket binder and just going nuts. As for the Friends in Hisui, this one's a little bit easier. It's just your 2 protagonists and your leaders of the Diamond and Pearl clan, Adamant and Irida. And it's just, they're both stunning. I think I'd have to just about give the edge to Friends in Sinnoh in terms of which one looks cooler. But, I mean, it's like somebody giving you 2 delicious cakes and making you choose which delicious cake is marginally more delicious. It doesn't really matter. They're both delicious. Both of these cards are delicious. Do remember that in terms of playability, they're just like standard draw free, nobody really cares, but we like them for their deliciousness, not necessarily for playing. But we do have a couple of full art supporters with which to finish off here that you will potentially want to be playing with. So we've got Eles'a Sparkle. It's a very good card. Now, I will say that it basically started off in Mew decks, and there are a bunch of Mew decks now, and arguably the more popular variant doesn't actually play Fusion Strike Energy anymore, and therefore doesn't play Eles'a Sparkle. This is a kind of card that would have been better a while ago, I will admit, but it's still a cool card that is absolutely viable in a bunch of decks and is extremely cool. Because it lets you search for 2 Fusion Energy and attach them. It's also a card for which we've already had a full art version. And it's cool. I actually really like the original full art. Most of these V-Star Universe Crown Zenith ones, I'm very much picking the newer one. Here, there is a strong argument for the newer one, but there's also a strong argument for the original. This is the first time we've had a new full art in V-Star Universe Crown Zenith, and I haven't thought that the new version is just a billion times better. It might be better, but it's at least, if it is better, it's only a little bit better. The old one is awesome. And then we can finish off with Volo. Now, this is a card that I have been thinking should see a huge amount of play, and it has seen a little bit of play, but I don't think this has seen as much play as it should up to now, if I'll be honest with you. What we've got is one that discards one of your bench Pokemon V and all cards attached to it. For my money, it just takes a prize off the board. Either an easy to KO Pokemon or a heavily damaged Pokemon or something along those lines. And now we got another full art of it. Now this is another one of those where we've had a full art, and I do like the original full art, but I do like this new one a bit better. And yeah, it's up to you. We got a couple different full arts. Of course, there's no rule against mixing and matching these, so play 2 of each of the full art. That's fine by me. Either way, this is a cool card, and there's another full art, and it is lovely. We are a week away, less than a week away. In fact, we are 4 days away from the release of V-Star Universe. And I do genuinely believe that it is shaping up to be the very best set we've ever had. I have tracked down a couple of boxes and the Diamond Clan set. Hopefully I'll be able to track down more in the future. And I think the 9 cards I've shown you today do go quite a long way to showing you quite how amazing this set is. But there's going to be so much more, and I still hold out hope that there is an Okacheke card to come. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to see them all on Thursday. Come back to this channel on Thursday, and I will show you the gosh darn lot of them. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about all of this. I want to know what you think about all of these cards. I want to know everything you think about V-Star Universe and Crown Zenith. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel. You can get some bonus podcasts where I answer all of your questions. You can join the Discord and chat with us about Pokemon or honestly like anything you want to have a little bit of a chat about. And you can get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Mary Sanders Lazenby, who's been a supporter of ours for a couple of months now and does seem to be a very lovely person. So thank you very much for the support, and thank you for being a very lovely person. But by far the most important thing is always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.